Welcome, Jaco, to Patrick Damore Golf Instruction. My name's Patrick. I hope I'm pronouncing your name properly. Jaco, I have reviewed your video, or videos I should say, and we can fix your golf swing for sure. And you do a lot of good things in the golf swing, and unfortunately you have a couple of things in the swing that are very hard to create consistent good golf shots from. And when I dissect golf swings, I go right to the moment of truth, and that is impact position. You know, swings can look pretty, swings can look cosmetically really good, but you cannot hide an improper impact position because ball flight will show it. And from what you're telling me, you drive the ball fairly well, but you don't hit a lot of greens, and that tells me your iron play isn't very good. And when I see this impact position that you're showing me, I can agree with that. Your iron play will not be as consistent as it would if you're hitting drivers or woods off the tee. And my website, you see three words on my website: arcs, shoulders, and shift. And I'm going to go in a nutshell into a couple of those because very good, efficient impact position has a couple things that we need, and your swing is lacking it. And I'm going to show you here in a nutshell. First, let me get another person up here. Let's look at, we'll look at yours truly here for a second, and we'll bring up the Tour Pro. When I'm looking at good impact position, a couple things I'm looking at. First and foremost, shoulders. The angle of your shoulders at address. It's, if your posture is good, the angle inclination is going to be somewhere between 10 and 13 degrees. For good iron play, shoulder inclination at impact has to be very, very similar. Now you can see I'm not going to change this angle. I'm going to move it over here a bit, but for the most part that angle really hasn't changed. It has not by much. Now let's go over here and look at yourself. Alright, here's your angle position at address, and we'll say 14 degrees-ish. That's about right. Now let's get you at impact. There's a difference here, and with what worries me is the fact that there's this big of a difference with the club in your hand, which I think you told me was a 7-iron. I'm looking at 28 degrees at impact. That means you got about a 14-degree difference. I would not promote that with a driver swing, let alone a 7-iron swing. And this is where your impact position fails, Jaco. We have to get your upper body, this whole entire system up here from the waist up. We have to get this over here more at impact. Long story short, we have to get your head position working this way to start that forward swing, such that our center of gravity is on the top of the golf ball at impact with irons. There's no way you can compress the shot or hit solid golf shots with irons if your upper body is hanging back this way at impact, and yours is. And again, you can get away with that with a driver swing off the tee, but you cannot hide that with an iron off the ground. Now let's look at my position here at impact. Well, still getting used to these buttons on this thing. Just bear with me here for a second. That's where my upper body is in impact. I'm going to kind of dissect that where my center of gravity I think should be in relation to that. Maybe even a little bit more over here. Now again, as you can see, my center of gravity is either on top of the ball or towards the target ahead of the golf ball, and that's common of very good ball strikers. That's very common. I'm going to show you another Tour Pro here in a second. In fact, let's do it right now. Here's a good one. You probably don't recognize this swing, but you will. It's the first year on tour this year, and he kept his card. He started out the season really hot, and this kid here is going to make a lot of money in his heyday once he understands the importance of a short game. I think the best golf swing on tour, one of them anyways. But let's get him at impact, or I'm sorry, let's get him at address. Here's again the test I do. What is he, about 15 degrees there? Let's put him at impact. In fact, I don't even think his inclination has changed. 15, 16 degrees. Not much difference there. Not much at all. Let's look at his upper body here to address. Okay. Center of gravity is kind of on top of the ball, maybe an inch behind. Let's get him in impact. You can see he's on top of the golf ball. That's a very good impact position. We have to get your upper body more on top of the golf ball. We have to get your upper body moving laterally to the target. We have to get your upper body moving this way to the target. Now let's bring up, here's probably my favorite one. This gentleman here kind of depicts the way I teach more so than anybody on tour. Nick Watney. Now let's run Nick through his golf swing here. Again, very good golf swing. If anyone's swing on tour was to mimic what I teach and promote and preach, it's probably this gentleman right here. Let's get him at the top here. In my system, arcs, shoulders, and shift, you're going to see one thing. Dynamic transfer of weight. His head position at address is here. Okay. His head position at the top of his swing has moved this way. It means his upper body's moved this way. Okay. Let's get him going forward. Look where he's at. His whole upper body, Jaco, has moved this way. This whole cliche that started 40, 50 years ago about keeping your head behind the ball at impact, that has so far gone out the window it's not even funny. With the equipment back in the yesteryear days, that's probably true. With the equipment we have now and the way the game has evolved, we try to get this upper body moving to the target on that forward swing. And Nick Watney does that probably better than anybody, in my opinion. You can see he's right on top of that golf ball now. It's what I call a dynamic transfer of weight. In my system, arcs, shoulders, and shift, you can understand why that's important. Nick Watney demonstrates that probably better than anybody on tour right now. Alright, now let's look at his finish position. Very vertical, shoulders level, upper body, right shoulder, right hip, left toe, one vertical line. And I'm going to show you something in your swing that you do very well. This tells me you've got not a lot of work ahead of you because you do this already very well. The problem is you don't do it at the right time in your swing. Let's get you to finish position here, Jaco. A lot of similarities in these two swings. Very level here, very level there. Problem is we get to that position after the ball leaves. Too late. We got to get this upper body on top of the golf ball at impact, covering the ball, if you will. I'm going to show you a drill here in a second. Let's if you haven't been to my YouTube channel, I encourage you to go there. I have all my drills there. I have on my drill, or on my YouTube channel, in my instruction site, a drill called how to stop the underspin flip. I use this drill extensively with good golfers who have a motion kind of like yours. The hips start the forward swing like you do. Hips fly out this way. Head stays back here, and you're always trying to fix it with the hands at the bottom of the swing arc. That's kind of what you do. This drill is it's a cover the ball drill, and I'm going to run through it real quick because it forces the upper body to move to the target on the forward swing. And this is kind of the recipe you need. This is the antibiotic, so to speak, for your golf swing. We need to get this upper body moving this way. That's what this drill does. The ball is way the heck out here out of position. In order to hit the golf ball even remotely solid, my upper body has to go this way to find it. And that's what this drill preaches and teaches. And I'm not going to go into detail of how to do the drill. You can go to my YouTube channel and find that. But when I'm done with this lesson, I'm going to give you a little bit of homework, and this drill here is going to be a major part of it. But in any event, let's go back to your golf swing here. Now, critical error number one. talk about your move off the ball. These hips are a very important part of the golf swing. That being said, these hips do not move laterally on that backswing. They rotate. Try this again. They rotate around a fixed position. Now the upper body, on the other hand, does travel this way on the backswing. Now watch your hips here for a second. I want to show you something. See how they just moved outside the box? Let's get rid of some of these lines here. I mean, that's not a lot of movement, but it is movement. That's a huge no-no in the golf swing. When your hips are moving like this, you've just destroyed any chance of a good dynamic transfer of weight. Let's take you back to the beginning again and show you this. Look at that. Now, let's bring up a golfer again. Alright, who are we going to bring up? Here's a pretty good swinger. Recognize this guy, don't you? Brandt Snedeker. I think one of the best ball strikers on tour. Let's put him in address here now. Let's give him the test here. I'm going to put a line right next to his right hip. I'm going to try to put a line next to his right hip. Let's do the box. Yeah, let's try this again. Okay. You can see he does not move those hips laterally. All he does is rotate them. Okay. Your golf swing is what we call a sway. It's not really a good weight shift, it's a sway. But you've got really good fundamentals on top of that, so you can get away with it. But it won't mask your impact position. That's a huge critical error to improve your impact position. We need to address that. Again, we're going to keep these hips fixed. Let them rotate around. They cannot move off the ball like that. When your hips move off the ball, you see your body's a creature of habit. When your hips move this way, your upper body's got to counterbalance that by staying this way. And that completely contradicts a good weight transfer. In a good dynamic transfer of weight, this lower body stays put. This lower body stays put. This area here stays put. It rotates, obviously, and the upper body moves this way. When we can do that properly, our backswing arc becomes very wide. And only will it become wide if we do it that way. Now let's get these lines off here. And again, that's about the major thing I see in your golf swing, Jaco, is just this whole upper body. We got to get this whole thing moving this way through impact. And the only thing I see in your swing is you just keep the upper body too far behind the golf ball. And if we can get this head moving this way, we're going to solve a lot of that problem. Now, is that an easy change? No, it's not an easy change. Is it a change you can make? Sure it is. Does a change require some work? Sure it does, but I think you told me you practice every day, and that's a heck of a lot more than I can practice. And this is very doable. What I would strongly suggest, and if you haven't done so already, is get to my YouTube channel, look for this drill, cover the ball drill. And again, I'm not going to explain to you how to do it. It's very detailed in the video on my YouTube channel. But in a nutshell, it makes this upper body. I'm going to put my upper body right here. In a nutshell, it makes this upper body move this way through impact. It teaches your body to do that. When your upper body moves that way, the shoulder, let's go back to the shoulder comment again. These shoulders rotate around, not right shoulder down, left shoulder up. Okay, let me get a line here to demonstrate that a little bit better. Right shoulder down, left shoulder up. For instance, Let's go back to your swing here. Get you to the top. I see a lot of faults, similar faults in good golfers and good swingers, and again, you do have a good golf swing. But the biggest fault I see is right shoulder on that forward swing goes this way, left shoulder travels that way, and at the bottom of the swing arc, it's nothing but hands. Trying to fix the club face at impact. When you swing on a very level axis, these shoulders behave more parallel to the ground. Okay. You show me this at the finish, which leads me to believe that you can make this change without a whole lot of effort, in my opinion. But we got to get this upper body, no doubt about it. We got to get this upper body behaving properly. We got to get your lower body being more stable. You cannot have this left hip and right hip moving laterally like this. That whole entire area of the hips has to stay put. We got to keep it in the box, so to speak. Upper body moves this way on the backswing. Upper body, try that again. Upper body moves this way on the backswing. Which yours does, or tries to. And more importantly, upper body moves this way on the forward swing, which yours does not do until after the golf ball has left the club, which by then it's too late, obviously. Again, your homework, if you will, or the antibiotic for your golf swing is this drill on the left. As you can see in this swing on the left that I'm doing, let me pull this up on the big screen here. Slow this speed down, but I'm not sure how to do that with this software yet. In any event, it really encourages new muscle memory. You get to the top, encourages this upper body to go this way, and that ball's way out of position. Now again, we're not going to hit the golf ball like that. This is a drill. And I'm going to give you my old 2 bits of information on drill work and how to practice properly. Anytime you're making changes in your golf swing, Jaco, you need to do very specific drill work. Drill work will reinforce new muscle memory. You cannot think your way through a golf swing and think your way through golf swing changes. You have to do repetition, 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 and that involves a lot of repetition and drill work. And this specific drill I'm showing you here, which you can find again on my YouTube channel, is going to be very, very important for your change to take place. Now, let's get us at the top. At the bottom, you can see my upper body is starting to move to the golf ball. It's trying to find the golf ball because the ball is out of position. That's what this does. It just changes the whole upper body muscle memory. That's what you got to do. Now let's get here for a second. Sorry about that. I want to address your posture for a second here before we sign off. Alright, I'm not sure how tall you are. If I'm looking at this picture, I'm thinking you're probably maybe less than 5'10". Alright, now let's get one of the guys that makes lots of money playing this game up here. James Hahn again. James Hahn has a very athletic setup position. You're going to see this position with the Adam Scotts, with the Tiger Woodses, with the Ernie Elses. Very, very athletic position right here. Arms hang vertically. The position you're showing me, Jaco, is not very athletic. And if we can get you more into the position that James Hahn is showing us, your lower body is going to be less encouraged to perform improperly at the start of your backswing. If we can get you with more knee flex with this buttocks sticking out, if you will, this way, or in your case we'll move it out this way, and that would allow this upper body to be in this position, which would allow these arms to hang a little bit more vertically. If we can get you into that posture, let me bring up the other picture here. Dang it, did not want to do that one. Pardon me here. There we go. Now let's bring these lines up again. Some of these people can do these buttons quickly. I cannot. If we can get you in a more athletic setup position, this right hip is going to be, and left hip for that matter, is going to be less encouraged to take off this way to start your backswing. Alright? If we can get you into the, as I call it, the James Hahn posture, only because I just think it's really, really good. Let's try this picture of Hahn here. He's with a driver. Okay, this is a driver, so this club is longer in length, which means his posture is more upright. And as you can see, it's still more than yours. But if we can get you into this posture over here on the left, these hips are going to be less encouraged to move laterally. Not going to say it's going to stop it, but they're going to be less encouraged to do so. That's his driver swing. Now let's get you up here on the right with your posture again. Yeah, we gotta get your tailbone out of touch. Out here. That's again going to allow the back to go this way. It's going to allow these arms to hang vertically downward. If those arms hang vertically downward, that's going to create a much better swing plane for you as well. Again, critical error. Hips cannot move laterally off the start of your backswing. Number 2, we got to get upper body on top of the golf ball at impact. That's how you hit good golf shots with the irons. We got to get that upper body on top of the golf ball. And if you have been through my instruction site from beginning to end, you can understand the importance of that. I won't go into it here in detail, but it's there for you to read for sure. Critical error number 1, getting these hips to not move laterally. Critical error number 2, get this upper body on top of the ball over here. And again, the antibiotic for this is the drill I showed you earlier. And again, you can find this on my instruction site. The ball position, I call it the ball position drill, but basically it's a drill to help cover the golf ball. And that's what you have to do. You have to learn to cover the ball better. And a lot of good golfers, in my opinion, don't cover the ball properly because they've been taught not to. And I'm part of that crowd too. I was taught at a young age to swing differently than I do now. And just the way the equipment changes the golf swing over years. The modern day golf swing, this whole upper body is on top of that golf ball much more so than it used to be 30 years ago. And that's what you need to work on. Jaco, I appreciate you looking me up. And if you have any questions, by all means, drop me an email or call me. I know you're from a different continent, so it's probably a little pricey to call, but you're more welcome to if you want to. If not, you can email me as well.